7 of the Eastern Conference Finals is finally done with. We have the NBA Finals matchup that we're going to go over, but first, we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals a little bit, and then jump right into my predictions and pick for the NBA Finals and who is going to be crowned this year's NBA champion. So, if you are excited for this video, or just want to hear me ramble about stuff you don't really know about, just click that like button. Click that like button. I really would appreciate it if you did like tonight's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, comment down below your own, I guess, picks, predictions, insight, maybe your takes on the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. Who do you have as Finals MVP, or anything at all? Down in the comments, I would also very much appreciate it. And let us now get started. Alrighty. So I guess first of all, we're going to talk about the conference finals that are finally done and over with. We're going to jump into the Western Conference Finals first, because of course that ended like 2 weeks ago or something like that. We had the matchup, if you've forgotten, the Denver Nuggets going up against the Los Angeles Lakers, with Denver winning 4 games to nothing. They beat them game 1, 132 to 126, 108 to 103, 119 to 108, and then the last game, 113 to 111. A pretty back and forth series. Just the Lakers couldn't get over the hump in the final legs of all the games. Of course, you know, an older team, they had a deep team, but like their bench players were just playing at a super duper high level at that point in time. And I don't want to say their luck ran out, but definitely their role players were overplaying. And when it came around the time of this series, it kind of fizzled out after probably overachieving, obviously, even making it to the playoffs, let alone beating the defending champs, and let alone again making it to the Western Conference Finals. Big round of applause for the LA Lakers even being there. But Denver throttled them. They beat a super stacked Kevin Durant and Devin Booker Phoenix Suns team, who I think at the start of the NBA playoffs were the favorites to win it all. I think it was either them, Milwaukee, one of the two. And yeah, there they go. The Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokić actually had a humongous masterclass of a series as well. And yeah, honestly, just super shout out to Nikola Jokić. But didn't really dominate in a way that you might have thought. He only put up in the first outing 34 points, 23 points, 24 points, and 30 points in each one of those games. Not like he's breaking out 50, 40, not even getting to 35 in a playoff game, but seeming like dominating on all other points of NBA basketball. And like we mentioned with the Lakers, they were even lucky to be there. They had a very good outing with a lot of the role players. LeBron and AD played very well throughout their series, but it just wasn't enough when it came to the rest of the guys, the rest of the Denver Nuggets squad, like Bruce Brown and Aaron Gordon, and of course Jamal Murray, who might also, you could argue, being the best player during that series, kind of did way more than at least I thought. You know, you would think if you could just control, everyone else, let Jokić do his thing, you have a chance to win. But Jokić did his thing, and everyone else did their things. The Lakers couldn't really stop anyone. You have LeBron James in this series put up 26 points in game 1, 22, 23, and a 40-point bomb, playing all 48 minutes of the final game in game 4, coming up 2 points short. Now you can connect that with how some of the other players underperformed. No, D'Angelo Russell really struggled this round. Austin Reeves played pretty well. Ree had some up and downs. I mean, of course, Vando doesn't do any offense at all. So, shout out to the Lakers. But, we'll see what happens with them next year. We have the Eastern Conference Finals, and boy, was it a doozy. Was it a thought. Boston ends up winning Game 4, 116 to 99, winning again, 110 to 97. Then in Game 6, winning on one of the craziest buzzer beaters I think we've seen in quite some time, with Derek White's tip-in, 104 to 103. That was a crazy one. I think we've all seen it. Shout out to Derek White, definitely a really good role player, and goes to Game 7 after a crazy blowout Game 3 that we all thought was already done. And the Miami Heat blowout the Boston Celtics in one of the most highly anticipated Game 7s we've had in a long time by 20 points. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but I feel like this could have been like one of the most sort of specific series we see in NBA history, with the team coming back, being down 0-3, tying the series, and you could have at least given us a competitive, fun ending to this great story. Even if it went either way, would have been great. But instead, we got what we got, which was a 20-point blowout from the Miami Heat to the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, the number 2 seed, I think they had the second best record in the entire NBA, are now at an interesting point where, they're not good enough to beat the best team of the West. They struggle kind of often to get even out of their own conference. I mean, of course, they made it to the finals last year, but every other year it's not that. Maybe they're thinking, is it us? Maybe it's us. That team is obviously talented enough to go all the way. Of course, they made it to the finals, but maybe they think it's time for a shakeup. Is it, in fact, just trying to acquire even more talent than they already have? Or maybe it's something to do with the little combination that they have right now, and they need to ship some pieces off to different places, get some new pieces, some new heads, and work in that manner. And I think some Boston Celtics fans, and maybe even people on the team, would also probably agree that's probably is what's going to happen. We have the Miami Heat, an 8 seed, technically a 7 seed, making it to the NBA Finals, and that is insane. So taking a look into the matchup of the Denver Nuggets against the Miami Heat for the NBA Finals, we have the stats for the regular season, by the way, just the regular season, and this isn't, I think, against each other. I think this is just the totals for both teams. You have the Denver Nuggets averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists, a little less blocks. I mean, steals, so good for Miami. Less blocks, less Miami has less turnovers, but the field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage, looking pretty rough. Free throw percentage does go to Miami, but all the major stats I don't want to say heavily, are definitely pouring towards Denver in this series. And not only that, of course, just, Denver is the 1 seed. Denver had the best record in the Western Conference. I think they had the 3rd best record in the NBA, but Miami took out the best team record-wise in the NBA in the first round. They went through a very, very, very deep New York Knicks team riding on a high, and just took out the 2nd best team record-wise in the conference finals. If any team can do this, it's this team. So I think the best way to look at this matchup is to go back to the regular season, where they played 2 times. Of course, it's an East and West matchup. They played twice. And Denver is 2-0 against Miami, beating them their first outing back in February, 112 to 108, a close game, and then beating them again, 124 to 119, back in December. Oh, sorry, obviously December was their first outing, but in that first outing, you had a Jimmy Butler putting up 17 points, Bam Adebayo 22, an X-Factor player here in Tyler Herro actually was the highest and leading scorer of that game for Miami, putting up 26, which it has been reported that Tyler Herro is looking for a Game 3 return, possibly as far as possible so Tyler Herro gets healthier and healthier is going to be a huge factor for Miami. The Denver Nuggets that game, Jokić only put up 19 points, but he put up 19 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. Jamal Murray had 14. Caldwell Pope had 20 points, leading the team. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on Denver had double digits, which is absurd in the NBA. You had Jokić having 20, Caldwell Pope having 20, Bones Highland was on the team at 16. That cannot happen. And what else is interesting, the second matchup in February, Tyler Herro also didn't play, and it was actually still a very competitive game, 112 to 108 like we talked about with Miami losing. So it is possible for them to stay competitive in this series without having, again, maybe their best pure scorer on the court, and we've already seen it. They can win without Tyler Herro already. But I think it's time for the decision of who I think is going to win in this series. How about I do something like this? I'll go game by game, and honestly, I think how this series is going to play out. I find it really hard that Denver loses at home. In my opinion, Denver sweeps Miami in the first two games. In the first two games, I think Denver beats Miami, goes up 2-0. Denver, of course, known for being the Mile High City, is going to even hurt Miami more because of them just getting off of a gruesome 7-game series. Now, I talked about this a little bit in my live stream that I think prolonging that series and how the Miami Heat have been playing on a high this entire playoff run, I actually think the less of a wait like Denver had in waiting for the next series to start is good, because their role players are still moving and grooving. Everyone is still in a locked-in mode where Denver has had like a week and a half off of doing whatever. Not saying they're not going to be ready, but Miami definitely has a case of being in a better position. They are just ready to go right now. And if that's the case, maybe Miami does win game number 1, but game 2 I think is a lock for Denver to win, and maybe even be a blowout win, no matter what. But if Miami would take a game, it would be game number 1. But I don't really think it's going to happen because it's Denver, which is a really tough place to play. Denver goes up 2-0. Going back down to Miami, game 3, and Miami wins game number 3. I think they definitely have already seen they do not want to go down 3-0 on a team. It's a tough battle back, and I think they lock it in game 3, taking it home, and hopefully that Miami Heat crowd is there. I know Miami's not known for having great fans in the stadium, but maybe they'll get there again now that they're back in the NBA Finals since the 2020 season, and obviously since then, seeing a final since LeBron James was there, so I'm really excited to see. Hopefully that white hot, sort of Miami Heat fan base is still there, which takes us to a pivotal game 4 in Miami still, and I think Denver wins game 4, putting them up 3-1 against the Miami Heat, which is a very tough place to play when you're down 3-1, and people have already talked about Jimmy and LeBron and their sort of correlations. They're both, playing in Miami, the best players in Miami during NBA Finals runs, and I mean, if anyone is also as mentally strong as LeBron, I would say probably someone like Jimmy Butler being as mentally strong, not caring being down 3-1, and really trying their best to come back. But going back to Denver, game 5, that is going to be an extremely, extremely pivotal game. Now maybe Tyler Herro's back, and they have a good breakout game, and maybe even in game 4, Tyler Herro maybe is way more than expected of us, and he has a blowout game, and he puts up 30 points and shoots super efficiently, and it seems like Tyler Herro might be the saving grace of this team that's already playing super well without him. That could really be a series-changing moment, and something to really look out for. Tyler Herro comes back 75% of himself. But game 5, I think Miami, I think they lose. even though Miami is looking so great, I do feel like, though, you'll definitely see some tired legs even more in this series. And I think the only chance they have is, again, sort of the regular talk about Denver. You let Jokić do whatever he wants. You cannot let the others of Denver win. You saw it in the Lakers series, and it blew out the Lakers 4-0. If that happens again, it will be close to that as well for the Miami Heat. But you lock down everyone else and let Jokić have a 30-point triple-double, whatever. You might be able to scratch by a couple wins here and there with that. Plus, with Tyler Herro coming back, I think if Miami could win, it would be it would have to be like a 6-game series. I would not trust Miami to win another 7-game series on the road in Denver. No way. If Miami would win this series, it would be in 6 games, and it would be a Tyler Herro helping masterclass with Jimmy Butler, going back to how he was in the first round, absolutely blowing everyone's mind on how great he's been, and I just don't know if that's there anymore. Plus, another one, the others of Miami, are they still going to contribute the way they have been, like Strus and Caleb Martin and everyone? And if Bam can even do anything, since even the last series struggled a lot. With Miami, there's just way too many if factors. Denver's just a really good team, but I'm rooting for Miami. I think we're all kind of rooting for Miami. I think even Denver fans would think it'd be kind of cool to see Jimmy Butler and Miami win a title, but logically, I am picking, in fact, Denver to win. Jokić Finals MVP. If Miami wins, it will 1000% go to Jimmy Butler, and I'm super excited to see what happens. And that is just sort of the correlation between how I think both teams are going to win. If Miami does pull it away, which is, it's like a 70-30, maybe a 65-35 split that I'm on right now with a win probability. There's just a lot of X factors, but I'm really excited to see if Tyler Herro does come back. But it's too many ifs. I get Denver winning it all, so no crazy pick here. I'm definitely rooting for Miami, which I know you're seeing the banner back there. It's not because of that. I just want to see an 8th seed win an NBA championship, and Jimmy Butler has been one of my favorite players in the NBA for many years. If you guys have been around the channel for a while, I've been preaching about Jimmy for a while now as well, so that would just be really cool to see. But of course, if Denver wins, I mean, Jokić gets a title, a Finals MVP. He's won 2 regular season MVPs back-to-back and probably should have won it again this year. I mean, this catapults Jokić into, you can already argue him as a top 10 center now. He's definitely past maybe top 10 center in NBA history already. So let me know down in the comments who you have winning the title. Maybe some stats you can let me know. Maybe if you're a Heat fan, maybe how do you feel about the series matchup, and maybe if you're anyone else have any basketball takes, I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching tonight's video. I love ya. Make sure you like the video. If you do like the video and like the video too, I don't know, give one of these teams some good luck, and I'll see you again in my next video very, 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 very soon.